apparently there.
A copy
Can-
in a minute.
Tim, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear and see you.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Hello,
I
everybody.
didn't wear my hearing aids, so I'm gonna ask everyone to please speak up. I really appreciate that. So the last, okay, we'll get started. We don't have any guest speakers today. And I'd like to call this meeting to order, and it is 10:02 a.m. And I would ask John, our parliamentarian, do we have a quorum today?
Yes, we do.
And that's, I guess, because, oh, we have another mic.
Mike's here.
Which mic?
Reynolds, Mike Reynolds. Is that Mike Reynolds?
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I see Tim, and I see Mike, and, does it say Mike and
Mike and John,
Mike and John?
unverified, it says.
All right,
Are Mike
So-
and John together?
so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we have 6 out of 8,
We don't
so
have
we're
John
good.
Latham here.
No.
I sent out an agenda, and oftentimes people want to add things to that agenda. So this is the proposed agenda for today. Anything that anyone needed to add to that at this point? Hearing none, then can I have a motion that we approve the agenda for today?
Oh, I'm sorry. There was one, I wondered if everybody got a chance to look at the response that we got from our,
Yes.
Okay,
you know, so maybe that would be an.
Okay, so time out. If you're talking about the question about the White Horse Park,
Mhm.
I thought I had it on the
That's under
agenda.
boat ramps.
Okay, it's
Oh,
on the
just
program,
program.
okay?
All right.
So it is there.
Okay, there, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you know why? You don't have my detailed notes. You
Okay,
just see it.
Okay.
You understand what she was saying?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Okay, John,
Second, somebody.
Sue, did you approve and then withdraw? Okay. I'm hoping everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes from the July meeting. I have one question. That last meeting, Ken indicated to me that he was the no name on the remote, so I would like you to add that as, put his name down and indicate that he was remote. Was anyone else remote that day?
Yeah.
So I like to indicate who was remote. So you had John Latham, Tim, Mike Reynolds, and
Okay.
Ken.
Okay, I'll add that.
Any other revisions, comments, edits as to those minutes from July the 15th? Having heard none, can we have a motion to accept those minutes? Those minutes as revised?
So moved.
And second, please. 10 seconds. Thank you, Ken. I had created these little reports because I noticed that was something that the board does. If you go to their meetings, they often have the same topics that recur. So they have someone appointed to give a report on that. Theirs might be a budget. We don't have to worry about that. So only if we have anything new to add, I'm going to ask as to water testing,
Yep.
other than it continues till October, there's nothing to add. And then, John, is there anything to add other than, I would also indicate herein that who is, shame on me for not knowing everyone's name. Who is the chair for the environmental?
Garcia, is her name?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Her name Garcia, the last name?
Pat Garcia.
Patricia. She contacted me by email and was inquiring about that QR sign, and I directed her to John. And so I think you told her,
I took care of it. Yeah, I emailed her and told her.
so we took care of
I
that.
just want to
So,
order the sign through it. It's in-
and there is an example of how our committee has always reached out to other committees, and now we have some type of a close relationship with the ENA. And of course, Mike Johnson goes to those meetings, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Update on comments and questions from residents. Mike, anything?
I don't have anything other than to mention that Sue sent a really nice letter to Linda Martin.
I saw that.
And,
And we got some
we
stuff.
haven't had any success with it yet. Therefore, no comments.
Okay, and that
No
is,
communication to me.
okay. I wonder why, when we originally did this 2 years ago, we were overwhelmed
Mhm.
with emails,
Yeah.
and now we're not.
It's not in there.
This was the first week it's been in.
First
Okay.
week that it's actually been in.
So it was actually-
Oh, is that on the weekly blast?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, it was
I
in
didn't
there
see that
today.
this week, that's why.
Yes,
I just read that yesterday,
Yeah, got
so
it.
that's the reason.
So it's
Okay.
the first week, so
And I
at least
asked-
it's in there.
Yeah, I asked her if she could just keep it as a continuing
Right.
thing, and so I think maybe that will happen now,
Yeah.
so.
Anything we need to know about parliamentary procedure? Robert hasn't changed the rules, right?
No changes. I don't
And-
know what happens when our liaison is not here though. I don't know.
In terms of parliamentary
If
procedure.
we need to do anything.
Is he, it says.
John's not
John,
here.
I don't see John.
Verify.
Is he still a liaison?
Oh, is that John there?
I can't hear you. If you can speak up.
I am on the line.
Oh, great.
listening.
That's John.
I will continue to be the liaison.
Oh, is what you were asking?
I didn't see John was here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and congratulations, John, our new board president. And he will continue with us. He just admitted, so that's great. Very happy about that. Mike did send me an update. Give me a moment to find my notes on this. When he attended the ENA meeting, they indicated at that meeting that that they had planned a trip to Horn Point. And I'm not sure what that is or where it's located, but I had hoped that Mike would be here to discuss that, but apparently they've opened it up to us. They want to know if any of our committee members would like to join that in that day trip.
Yeah.
So Sue, you know something about that?
Yeah, Horn Point is a University of Maryland facility. I think John, actually, you've been.
That's where,
you've been there.
that's where the QR code goes.
Yeah, and they supply the oysters for the oyster project, the baby oysters. I have not been there, but I think, didn't Mike mention that it's a very limited number that they can accommodate for,
But he didn't
for-
say that in my email.
So I don't know if because he said maybe we want to do a separate trip, and not overwhelm them with too many.
So someone should follow up with Patricia, I would gather,
Yeah.
right?
I don't
And
know when they're going.
I don't think they knew at
Yeah,
that
It's in
point.
Cambridge.
That's what he indicated. And that just might be.
Yeah.
Any thoughts? So what Sue's saying is she thinks it may be restricted in the numbers that can go at one time. And that if it's restricted and we would not, no one from the committee who might want to go would be able to go, should we plan our own? How would you like to go about approaching this subject? My first thought is ask Mike to follow up with Patricia and find out exactly the details, the date and the numbers. That's my thought. Any other thought?
Where is this located?
Cambridge.
Cambridge, okay.
That's who I talked to. That's who the person
Yeah.
for the oyster cave.
Yeah.
Well, the one person, they get the QR code. That's who it is.
They do research and they have it's supposedly a really cool facility. But I know Joe Jankowski, that's where he goes most of the time to get the baby oysters.
Hmm.
Or those of us that grow oysters.
So my suggestion is to ask Mike to contact them. He has the
Yeah.
He has the contact. for Pat. He's the one that brought it up at the last meeting.
Right.
Oh, okay. So we should put this on our agenda then as follow-up, unless he can get
I
information.
think
out to
they're
us.
going soon. I mean, the way he said at the last meeting, he had talked about it, and I had said, well, who can go? And he said, I think it's full. And I said, okay, well, do we want to go? And he said, let me ask them and see what
Yeah, I
so
think
that's how it
that's-
kind of was
yeah.
left.
All right, I know Mike's on an important phone call. He contacted me this morning. I can always follow up with Pat too.
Just see what they say.
Somebody's doorbell's ringing.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. They're supposed to pick up my boat, my little boat today, and maybe they're saying,
I try to get myself organized before I come here. And obviously, I organized, but I don't know where the heck I put the information I wanted to share. Next on the agenda this morning is a discussion about the revisions to C-12. Does everyone still have a copy of that I sent out earlier? Maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, maybe farther back than that. With talk about possibly merging some committees, sort of hearsay out there. I think we all had agreed that we need to determine exactly what we believe our purpose is and review this document, make any suggestions. And I guess at the last meeting, you all decided that it would probably be a great idea if we, for example, indicate that September will be primarily dedicated to a discussion of that, but we'll handle other items as well. Is that correct, John?
Yeah, I asked, John, and he had said that we can't really discuss anything outside of a meeting.
Sure.
The two choices where you were gonna say, let's all get together and talk about it. I know Mike Johnson said he wanted a whiteboard and blah, 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 you know.
We were supposed to have a whiteboard. It was supposed to be in here, I was told.
Yeah,
I
and,
still don't
you know, then John said you really aren't supposed to speak outside of the meeting. So the other option was for you to pick a meeting and in essence, just dedicate that meeting to that topic and also have everybody be prepared. So when they come, we're just not saying, just not kicking around ideas. It's a matter of everybody should have a plan that says, okay, this is what my opinion is, and go from there and kind of kick it around that way. It was just a matter of picking which meeting you wanted to do it. And we had said, wait for you to get back and see what you wanted to do.
because that worked with the boat ramp thing. The same thing. You asked people to come prepared with their suggestions, and then you just suspended, I think, rules and just had everybody just
Give their
say their
opinion.
piece.
Yeah.
You know?
So we can do that. Is September would probably be a good time to handle that. I don't want to keep it on the back burner any longer.
Yeah.
And so I want everyone to, if you do not have a copy of the resolution, I have extra copies here right now. So anyone present, if you'd like a copy.
I think the idea was just everybody.
And you need one, you still have one.
Got it, marked it up and have all my comments.
There you
Yeah,
go, ready to go. You need one.
I'll take one, but I have one in my binder.
And you have one,
You
right?
see?
Excellent. Anyone who is remote today, if you do not have a copy of that,
This one,
Oh,
the C12.
I would like you to contact me today and I will email a copy to you. All right, Tim and John.
Okay, thank you.
John, is Mike there with you as well? Mike Reynolds?
Yes, he is. He's driving.
Okay, so I need to know who's present for the meeting, so you get that down, will you, that John, Tim, and Mike are
Mike
attending.
Reynolds
the
and
meeting.
John Layton are
they're together.
Can I ask,
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna ask, Paul, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I showed up as no name and I heard he said.
Yeah.
Is that an issue with the, because I dialed in and it didn't automatically, it popped up no name in, as contrast to me.
Yeah, I don't know why that happens. I don't know if I'm remote with the court and I'm not identified as Donna McAvoy, it's just a phone number, just an anonymous phone number. And I don't know why that happens. Do you?
I didn't even see a no name on the board.
Sue
There
mentioned
was
it to
just
me.
an icon. There was just an icon.
We didn't
of a
see
person.
it, yeah.
Yeah, there was an icon of person and it didn't have any.
And I introduced myself, I said, hi, it's Ken, I'm on.
We
We
didn't,
didn't,
we
we
didn't
didn't hear
hear
it at all. No, it was like a little, like a, you know,
I don't know
like
how
a
it-
person icon, but it didn't.
I heard all you guys, I was connected.
Well, I wasn't here. Where was I?
You were on vacation. You were at the.
Oh, Ocracoke.
Yeah, because see, here it says unverified for both,
Where do you see that?
right there. It
Bob,
says Mike and John, unverified, and top, Tim.
And I don't know, Ken, if there's a place where you type in your name. I don't,
I was on the phone, I had,
Oh, okay.
which should have
Doesn't make
worked.
any sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why I'm asking, is that something that somebody, that we ought to bring up?
Well, I could certainly follow up with Howard and see what that was all about. Okay,
Because it, like, he said he's in his car, we didn't know.
right.
Or John Latham, it didn't appear, right?
Yeah.
And he's here.
It could be just a signal, because from a notebook or computer, it was easy to log in.
Oh, I had no trouble dialing in. Got right through, heard all the whole conversation.
Yeah.
So it was not a signal in my
We
instance.
just didn't know that.
In my instance, it wasn't a signal. Heard everything was said.
Because see, this has Mike's initials and Tim's initials, but when the last time it just had a little person icon with nothing.
That's why I said,
Mention it to me.
Yeah, I-
She said, I wonder if that's.
If you're calling in from your phone, okay, it's not recording it's not a live feed to see you.
right,
You know how you can do a telephone call and then do you want to do a live chat?
Mhm. I know you
It
can do that.
videos each person, and that's where you're not being connected.
We didn't even, because when we were doing the meeting, I specifically went to each person and said, okay, what's your idea? And what's your idea?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we never went to you.
I
You
answered.
were there.
I answered.
We didn't hear anything.
That's what I'm finding out. I didn't realize, I heard you all,
Yeah.
just like I'm hearing you now.
Really?
Yeah,
All right, so I'll follow up with Howard and see what the snaggle is.
because when we get the notice for the email, it
Right.
says you can use your phone as well.
You can.
Right.
Michelle Ross sends it
Yeah,
out now.
and I dialed in the phone number.
Right, so next thing on the agenda today is article for publication. Do we need to develop a reminder on basic voting rules? Did you suggest that by email to me? Someone sent me an email about that. The idea of, the email identified recent voting accidents that included both jet skis and voting and votes. And I was wondering if we need to draft an article that just reminds voters of basic voting rules. I don't know. I'm throwing that out there. Ken?
As follow-up to that, this is something called collision regulations, which has to do with the rules. And whether you're on a jet ski here or a pontoon boat or a 65-foot Duffy owned by Gadelsky, there are rules if there's a collision. Even if a jet ski hits another jet ski, he knows this is 100 ton. So if we're gonna do that, I would like to add, it's called COLREG, collision rate, just a few regulations that would apply to us recreational people,
Okay,
not the commercial.
right.
But there are laws. This is the book COLREGs.
I have all that, the regulations and a whole chapter on that in our voting course.
Very important.
Wow.
Using it so they can appreciate
It has-
it. No,
It discusses jet skis,
right,
how close they can get to another vessel,
right.
the distance.
As an attorney, you know about that. Liability, negligence, all that stuff.
It covers a lot of these.
Call with,
The call
Kirk of a jet
the
ski.
rules are listed in this one chapter.
He should.
It's pretty comprehensive.
so would it be worth it to
Absolutely.
do a
We could-
short,
We would have to probably sit down and go through that material and pull out what we feel will be important for just this area here.
as opposed to just
As
referring
opposed
people
to-
to that?
No, you don't want to just confirm, because there's
Okay.
too many regulations.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
too complex.
You don't need to know all. I mean, we had to know what his licensed captains, but like you said, even it does, and it has to do with negligence, contributory negligence, all the things you learned in law school.
What do you think?
Is this part of the power?
Just,
No, it's.
Yeah, suggestion.
Federal.
Wait till the talking stops, I can't hear you.
What I'm talking about is, yes, the power spark.
Yeah,
Okay,
Course that we
because
teach.
they do a good job.
John?
just a suggestion that there's a lot of different topics with the voting regulations, just to say voting regulations. I mean, this book could be, a topic, collisions.
Well, that's what he's saying. He's
Right.
got a chapter.
Right,
just
so in other
on
words,
collision.
maybe a great idea, maybe monthly or quarterly or whatever, that we actually come up with voting regulations this month or this quarter, and we talk about a specific topic, like collisions would be one topic, and then the next time it's navigation, and next,
I have the
whatever.
inlet navigation
Yeah,
tips,
there's so many,
signs of drowning.
yeah, there's so
I have
many.
all of that information.
So you
Recognizing
could do
exhaustion,
one a month or one a
heat
quarter,
stroke,
that kind of.
recognizing heat stroke, heat exhaustion.
Yeah.
Okay? Deploy an emergency sea anchor. I have all that information for us. How to fend off a shark, which they're in the bay here. Stings with jellyfish, which are current, and not to treat them, what to do if somebody, God forbid, gets
So
a
there,
laceration.
here's of
A
information.
laceration on your boat. I have all of that for us.
Uh,
How to time your
This is-
entrance
this is
into the inlet.
Great. This is a great response to my agenda topic.
Mhm.
Thank you, everyone. And I don't remember exactly how it tweaked my attention, but someone sent me an email identifying recent accidents in not necessarily in the community, but on the river, in the bay. And the saddest thing is when they result in massive injuries and
help
even
them.
deaths.
We have all that.
All right, so do we want a subcommittee to work on this or one individual? How do you want to handle it? And you'll notice I also had on my agenda creating a list of topics for yearly publication. I would like to know that, for example, April, we are going to have every April, we're not going to come in here and chit chat about what should we do? Should we do this? When should we do it? But we know in April, for example, that will be getting your boat ready for the season. That's April. And then June would be whatever. So this could be added to a list of topics for yearly publication. Yes, Ken?
My suggestion is to go with what you said. Should go all through the topics that I brought in. Okay. Let's go to your suggestion for one session. And we should all agree on what that list should be. I mean, candidly, I'm speaking out of turn. I would start with his because his actually have legal liability.
Okay,
Besides, we have lots of boats that hit each other out.
okay.
Okay, I mean.
So
his-
each of you is going to do some research in a specific
And we'll
area of
discuss
this.
the and have a meet.
Okay.
One of the meetings that you decide,
Right,
that we'll have a meeting to decide, this will be the list that will then be covered.
okay,
And then the chair and the group will assign which month we'll discuss, like, there'll be a month, we'll talk about signs of drowning
okay.
and how you know about it and how to treat it. Right?
All right, so is this too soon? October's
Up to you.
meeting would be dedicated to this?
So creating a list
Mhm.
that we'd all agree on
Yes,
of the topics. And
Make that a suggestion.
I have a class coming up at the end of September, 3 nights at the library for the entire basic boating course.
We have
Which
that.
covers trailering,
Mm.
on the water, operating your vessel, getting ready to operate, things you need to be.
We ought to
looking
publish
out
that.
for.
I was just gonna say that.
Including your
that's
agenda
very helpful.
was about the Coast Guard life jackets being.
But I put that
So
on our
we
agenda.
have an entire chapter on the safety gear that you need, what type of life jackets for kids, what kind of for adults, what's an ocean going vessel or a
SOLAS.
what's a.
SOLAS, yeah. But I think we should that
We
to
have
me
the whole
is
agenda
important,
with that.
For us
We
to
can pick out
publish
there
their
what you
community.
want and then just go
that
from
they're
that
gonna do that.
material.
So doesn't the squadron normally publish that, make that announcement? So it'll be in the papers?
We try and pick out certain things, especially in April, where we're, preparing your boat to launch it. We mentioned trailering, of course, in and out, fall and spring. what to do, what not to do. So, yeah, it's very comprehensive.
John?
Well, my idea when I even, just to take an aside of getting on this committee was this. And I think you two guys are very knowledgeable. You have all the information there and you teach the course, you know, what's there. I mean, I'm not telling you guys what, you know, I think you guys should make a list of all the topics that you're talking about. Like your entire course could be broken down to 20 different things.
Exactly.
And then I think it would be a great idea. It's very proactive for the committee to say, and for Ocean Pines to realize, well, what are we actually doing? And I think it has a lot to do with what we're going to be talking about at that next meeting.
Next meeting.
I mean, this is the kind of stuff that it can be a regular basis. And
That's
just
what I'm
say, well,
thinking.
these are the topics.
I
Let's
can
work
bring,
it.
I can bring you, I can bring you textbook.
But we've agreed to do the list.
Yeah.
We've already,
Yeah.
we've
But
agreed
the
to do
idea
that.
is that we need to have a list.
We got
Your
it.
list.
Well, then
So,
you come-
but like a bullet list, not so bullet it for us. That's what you're saying.
Right.
I got,
We can do that.
So here's my bullet list,
I got it.
Yeah,
but here's my
but
notes.
then we have to turn it into plain language, you know, I mean, it can't be all legally.
Okay.
Well, we first have to agree on the list, which
Sure.
is.
So
what-
that will be October. So
Okay.
I know Mike and Ken, you've got homework
I'll
to do
bring
and
the,
get that to
I'll
us.
bring the text material, what we distribute.
And can you put,
In-
again, make
so
sort of
you
a
can see
bulleted
the
list so we,
Syllabus, the
Yes,
agenda,
okay.
everything.
I've got all the
Okay.
The chapters, yeah, what we covered.
okay, thanks, gentlemen. Now, Ken had recommended we should shoot out a notice about the squadron, but if you're saying that the squadron does that on their own, we don't need to do it, I'm
They
not
put out a
sure.
news release, I think, because it goes out.
Right.
Does
locally.
it-
Majoring in advertising, and if you look at TV, the more you repeat it, the more it gets to other people. I
Um,
think that's a responsibility of ours for what they're doing in this community. You cannot provide enough of that information.
So I think what
to
you're saying,
multiple
Ken, is
sources.
maybe that the weekly email that goes out, a blurb in there, just a quick blurb reminding everyone that this is
Absolutely.
available.
It's very important what they're doing.
Is there somebody in the power squadron that does that communicates out?
We do it, well, the XCOM committee, the executive committee puts those things together and,
Mhm.
We should do it.
I don't want
I'm
to
not-
step on
I
anybody's
don't know
toes
if we
here.
have any one individual that does it, but,
Okay,
You can step on it.
because I.
Sandy Glassman, I know,
Sandy,
communicates with
yeah.
the local newspapers.
I'm gonna
Okay,
follow up with them first, Sue. What do you think?
yeah,
And then that would be a nice idea.
You can't tell.
And you're communicating with,
just another, I mean, and
When-
if they have already have plans to put it in to the,
Mhm.
you know, to the weekly thing, then fine, then, you know, that.
Right.
But
you know,
we can do it too,
We
on
should.
their behalf.
It's important what you're doing.
Yeah, they're not doing it on every one. It's, you know,
Okay.
it's sporadic.
But this
Yeah.
one is very important. I mean, I've saved lives out there.
But I mean, just advertising the safe boating course, isn't that what we're talking about?
is that a
Yeah,
voting
so
course?
well, that's going in, right, we are in progress right now to do the new flyer for it's the 29th, 30th, and 1st of October. It's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night at the library. And it's from 6 to 9 o'clock over the 3 nights.
So it's 29, 30, and
29th,
31?
30th, And the 1st of October,
Okay.
it's 30 days. And
Oh, it's a
And
September.
what's the cost? It's 20.
it's $28 for an adult. We do not charge school age
Okay.
teenagers. They can take the course from 12 years and up.
Mhm.
And we don't charge for the text material for them. Same thing we do at the Berlin Intermediate School. We teach the intermediate school age kids, 12, 13, 14 years
So they gotta
old.
get a license.
Do we give them a license?
Do you really?
So we issue after the course.
I didn't realize that.
Yes, yeah, we issue them a certificate.
You know that, you have to have a license.
didn't, so-
for a Kid.
Well, yeah, anyone 12 or.
Explain to them about the license. They didn't know that.
My granddaughters have already taken whatever it is they need to do.
But they get a license.
If you were.
They get
born-
something,
if you
I don't know
were
what it
born
is, yeah.
After July 1st, 1972, you must have a boating course completion license.
My son's got it too,
Yeah.
except my one who's older than
So
that.
I bet a lot of people don't know that they come down here.
No, I bet they don't either.
So should we tell them? I mean, that's a marine advisory activity.
And then even
Yes.
these younger kids on these jet skis,
Mm, yeah.
they have to have that same.
You have to have
license.
Nice kids that rent them.
Yeah,
Yeah, like.
make that part of your list is.
Yeah.
It's very
Qualifying for
Mhm.
driving these
Well,
vehicles.
this goes to your contingent liability issue.
Yeah, you're right.
No, it does.
But parents don't listen to it, so what are you
Well,
gonna do?
then they'll get sued.
I think the problem is also that everyone doesn't reside here full-time. And fewer of the people that even reside here full-time are reading the magazine that we get,
Right,
are reading it.
right.
Because I wouldn't be looking from the street at trash cans
Right.
if they read this. And they don't read the weekly. And so there are a number of residents who are not interested in what's going until it's time to vote for a candidate and complain about dues. That's it. Anyway, that's my soap opera. I'm
Yeah,
done.
but if they get pulled over, they're gonna get a ticket there. So they'll learn real quick. Spread the word to their friends.
All right, that's good. All right, then I put the boat ramp information on here.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yes, and and if we need, I will suspend Robert's rules if we need.
As a
John.
liaison, do you think we should get with Parks and Rec Advisory Committee on that as well?
No.
I know that's part of our purview on our thing. It says the ramps here. But I
Okay,
was just asking if you think that made any sense.
well, I think we got an answer. That did you send out or did I send out? I did a copy of the email response that we received. So John approached John Latham, who then approached, I don't know if he approached John Viola, who then approached our police captain.
Donna, did you-
And who
I'm sorry,
responded, I think that's what he went. I'm sorry, I hear a voice, but I don't know who it is, it's not loud enough. John, did you want me to suspend Robert's rules for a moment so we can discuss this? I will suspend Robert's rules and allow John Latham to give us some background information on this. John? What did I do, losing?
Probably what happened to me last month. And they can hear us, by the way.
I'm so sorry, Donna. You were breaking up a minute. I thought I heard you call my name.
Excuse me, folks.
Hello?
You there, John?
Yes.
Don, repeat what you asked them to do.
John, I did suspend Robert's rules so we could have an open discussion with you. And I thought maybe it would be, I heard you speaking, so I thought maybe you wanted to share with all of us here exactly what the procedure was and what the response was, or anything else you want to add, John.
I'm sorry. I missed the whole question. So what
Ramp,
am I
ramp.
speaking to?
John, they were discussing the ramp and said that there was an email or something sent out with a ramp that you dealt with. And then if you could fill us all in on that conversation. The boat ramps.
We got her, Andrew. Sit down.
Yeah, there's.
Donna asked John to speak, which is fine.
Okay, well, I had heard John. I didn't know if he wanted to speak. I'm sorry.
Can I just?
So I'm going to ask John C. to respond to what happened, and everyone did get a copy of the response. All right, so I don't know that there's anything further we actually need to do at this point on this, but John, go ahead.
All right, so we got the response back, and when at the last meeting, I basically said the same thing that was in the response. I gave the entire history of what happened, and the response that we got was the entire history of the boat ramp.
Right.
So it was the exact same thing we talked about. So the bottom line is that there's going to be no change.
Right.
What we have is what we have, which is fine. I mean, that's what the policy of the administration is, and that's fine. We may agree with it, we may disagree with it, but that's none of our business. Our job is to advise the board and get information. So the response was, it's wide open to everybody, and in essence, have a good life in Ocean Pines.
Take a deep
So-
breath.
So that's okay. The only concern I have, and what I would like to do, and I think it has to be in a form of a motion, which I've made up, is that my suggestion is that the biggest problem we have right now is not so much the response and what the policy is, it's the fact that it's ambiguous to the people that live here, and the website is exact opposite of what the policy is. I've had 3 people come up to me knowing I'm on this committee and saying, how come these boat ramps are being used by people, anybody's using them? And I said, well, that's the policy of Ocean Pines. That's my answer. And that's and that's fine. I mean, I don't have a disagreement with that at all. If that's the policy, that's the policy. But the answer that I get is, well, look what it says on the website, And so my only suggestion is that we're not going to change the policy. That's what it is. But I do think that the information that's being given out to the public should be correct without advertising that it's open to the public and everything is fair game. I think at least the administration should look at what is worded on the website and maybe just tweak it and change it to make it reflect what the policy is. So I just
make a motion, you make that motion.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna suggest to the administration that via our liaison, that they update the website to reflect the current policy. I mean, that's pretty much it. The 2 sticking points here that are exact opposite of what's going on is, one, it says use only of Ocean Pines property owners, residents, and their guests.
Yeah.
Well, that's obviously not true. Secondly, it says under the section of the Mumford's ramp, it says trailer parking is not permitted in the area of the ramp, along the roadways, or in any of the surrounding lots. Well, that's not true, because
That's wide open.
we were
Yeah.
told that if you have 2 wheels within 12 inches, you're allowed to park on the street. So when I go out of my house and tell the guy, you can't park on my lawn, which I don't do, that's not correct. My neighbor does. He goes out and says, you can't park on this lawn. Well, he can, that trailer can. And he says, well, look at the website. Well,
Nobody's gonna enforce it
so,
because they said they're not.
so
Like I said, I make a motion that you make that motion.
So my motion is that we contact the administration via our liaison to update the website to reflect the current policy on those 2 points. That's, I think, all our job is, the committee.
And by administration, you mean the board.
It's not, I don't think this is board policy. This
Okay,
is,
so
this is
would be
the administration's
Bylaws
policy.
policy.
Okay.
Bylaws.
Yeah, this
I'm
is.
not sure what it is.
It's bylaws.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Who's
Tim.
speaking? Tim?
It's
First
Tim.
of all, you have to second the motion, then you can discuss.
Okay, so now,
Somebody has to say.
there is a motion that we contact the administration through our liaison to have the,
Update the website.
Update the
I
website.
second the motion.
And
Okay.
now you can discuss.
now we're gonna have a discussion. Tim?
Yeah, it's really more of a question at all, but do we even want to have this policy on the website? Does that attract more problems than answers questions? In other words, are we getting more people because they see, oh, they have ramps that I can use for free and no problem, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just wondering how much attention do we want to bring to it on the website? That's all.
Okay, thank you, Tim. John?
Tim, I think that's a great idea, and they can just delete that section from the website. They don't even have to put it on there. They can
They
just get
don't-
rid of this.
Right. I mean, are other policies out there? I don't know where you see that on the website. If it's under, hey, these are the policies of Ocean Pines, or is it, hey, we have this great community and come use our boat ramp?
No, just-
I'm not sure where it resides, but get it
It's
out
under
of there. if you can.
It's under the marinas, and then there's a section that says boat ramps.
You're right, they just delete the code.
So they could just actually delete, no, it's not for us to tell them what to do. It's for us to suggest something. And when I say update the website, updating could mean just
They just
delete
delete
those
the
2
code.
things.
So
and then
that's
it's
my
just
only
code.
thought
You know?
is, do we want it there at all?
Hey, wait a minute. Is that Tim still speaking?
I stopped.
So I'm just, as for the minutes, I'm just asking, so he just is saying, do we just want to suggest that they remove this whole section
That was his,
from the bylaws or whatever?
Oh, is this the website?
Yes.
Can I look at that
Yeah.
amendment?
My suggestion is we don't tell them what to do.
right.
We just say, update the website and let them handle it. They may not do anything. They may just leave it the way it is and say, we're just gonna leave it.
Because on,
But it's up to
yeah,
them. It's up to them how they update it. It's,
the way it's worded is really weird because it says there are 3 boat ramps.
They
and
mentioned
don't
Gum
mention Gum Point, which is not even in Ocean Pines. So the suggestion is that everybody can, come. And I guess that's what they can, which I
Well, they
think,
can.
which I object to, but
But that's neither here nor there.
too bad.
We have-
All we were told to sit down and be quiet.
So
So
maybe-
that's what I'm trying to do.
So maybe it's something like this. Maybe it's something worded in a way that says, hey,
Is
guys,
that Tim?
yes, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, this is
Okay, I
Tim.
want
Maybe
to
it's-
recognize Tim.
all right, so maybe it's worded in such a way that it's, hey, guys, our recommendation is to remove it altogether. But if you decide not to, please update it with the current policies, which includes blah, blah, blah. And that would be it. If this group feels like they want to remove it. If you don't want to remove it, that's fine too. I can live with either one, but
But you thought this through, so what do you think?
Okay, so,
I think we don't step on too many toes. And it puts John in a position
Right.
where we don't want to tell John what to do. And this just allows John to go to the administration and say, the Marine Activities Committee would like you to update your website based on this.
so it
information."
reflects the current policy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
right.
simple.
This is in-
And they,
And
and
if it doesn't happen, we could always go back again later on and say, well, do something else. But we give it a couple months and see what happens and then we
Well,
bring it
Don will
up
put it
again.
on a monthly list.
They don't do it. Yeah, and bring it up again. But I don't think you want to get, we don't want to be too pushy, we don't tell them what to do. You want to leave
Okay.
it up to them first.
Mhm.
And then
Okay.
if it doesn't work, well, then you can say, well, how about maybe thinking about looking at this again and remove
Yeah.
it.
okay, so the motion, we can modify the motion or fine tune the
I think
language.
I think you keep it this way for now, and then at a later date, if you want to, if nothing happens, you don't get any results, so then we can change it to
And I
something.
already seconded it.
Okay, so exactly what's the wording?
Right.
Sue has it. I
But
think.
is it, the motion is that we contact the administration?
No, John, it was through John.
Yeah, our
Is
liaison.
that correct?
Right,
Correct.
to update this policy, these 2 policies mentioned on the current
Website.
I think the website,
Based-
like the current policy is what I
Do
heard.
we even reference what we have?
No, no,
Just-
no,
okay,
no,
All right,
no,
okay,
nothing,
not
nothing.
based on anything, okay.
Is that correct to to update the
To
website
reflect current
to
policies?
reflect the current policy?
What
Okay,
you want to do is contact the administration via our liaison.
correct,
Mhm.
that's
To
what I have.
update the website
Right.
to reflect current policy on the boat. ramp.
Okay,
And that's,
Okay.
Yep.
Call for the vote. Those in favor, if those who are remote can say aye.
aye.
Aye. Mike Reynolds.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7. And we have 1 missing member of the committee.
Great idea.
Thank you, everyone, for input on that. And I think that's a good
Real
idea.
good.
yeah,
you have to.
Hey, Don.
Now we're gonna go back.
What do you want?
Hey, Donna.
Add anything to it? How are you gonna do that?
Okay,
And then-
thank you very much.
Hey,
You should
Donna.
be the next chairperson.
yes, we
Hello?
should.
That
Donna?
is that Tim or Michael or who is
It's
that?
Mike. John Latham has something to say. Donna, I don't want to cut it here.
Okay, so I would ask it, we haven't gone back on Robert's rules, so John, if we can hear from you at this point, please.
Yes, Donna, we're gonna need a charging document with that language. That's the procedure.
Need a charge.
Put it in the form of a charging document so he can take it to the administration.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think I have extra forms of those at home.
Just stick that in there, write it up that way,
Okay.
and then have Sue give
Yeah,
it to you.
yeah, or-
Write it up that way, and then give it to John, email it to John, and he'll take it to the administration, and we'll see what they say.
Sue, when,
We did a charging document before.
When Dave was
Yeah.
the chairperson, our committee had one. Did you draft that for him or did he draft it or discuss
You get
it?
the $600 for.
That's right. Yeah, I just gave them the information to plug in, but I don't remember doing. the
Okay,
form.
I have a copy of it at home. I'll have to
I think
pull
Dave
that
did the
up.
form, yeah.
Green State Roberts.
Very good suggestion.
All right, thank you, everyone. Back on Robert's rules. We ready? Okay, we'll be back on Robert's rules at this time. I don't care if you want to send me an email, Sue, and remind me to
Yeah.
do that.
Okay.
I'm going to give this back to you. So you have it. Thank you for that. Thank you, everyone. Good ideas. Then I already mentioned this. I thought it would be a great idea if we could create a list of topics for yearly publication, month by month. Basically, we may not have 12 repeating topics, but we can certainly come up with a list of repeating topics. And we seem to be crushed in the summer. We come in here, it'll be April, it'll be May. We're like, well, we want to get this information out. But if we know in advance that we need to address these, pull out the whatever the publication was from the previous year, see if we want to update that and get it out. So I'd like to do that. That means that everyone needs to come up with ideas of what those are. Again, I think maybe save that for October, do you think, since,
You said that.
okay, so we'll do that in
These
October.
guys have 30.
And there we have this.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
already signed homework.
Yeah.
We got
You're
here,
had enough for 5 years.
you're really taken by events.
I think we're in the-
You already covered that and made your
Some material.
classroom assignment with students, you want to do that.
I know. Okay, anything else under the old business that we need to discuss? Want to make sure that everyone came with ideas and we addressed all your ideas, your suggestions. Okay, good. I'm going to move on to new business. So I was in search of Ken and found him. He was sitting here today and he kind of explained where he was last month. So we've addressed that. I want to be certain that I get that address, that information. I'll talk to Howard. As to if at any time you no longer feel you want to continue on the committee, let me know in advance. I've threatened for a couple years that I am not going to seek reappointment. There is a Jiminy Cricket in the group that keeps chirping in my ear. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, and I won't mention his name, but someone has encouraged me not to leave. So I'm still working on that. I'm up this year, my 6th term. I don't know how the administration or even the board feels about repeat offenders, or if it's time for someone with more knowledge to be in here and share their ideas. I don't know. Any input from anyone, I would appreciate. Anyone else, if you have any feelings about continuing or not continuing, just let us know in advance. Any thoughts on that topic at this point?
My term's up in next year, September, after 3 years.
And you can apply for
Yeah, reapply.
continue. And when you have a good handle on our subject and a good handle on what we're doing, and you feel like you continue to have something to offer, or you're taking leadership roles, I think it's important to think about the committee. And if you're a good, strong member of that committee, and you can help lead that committee, or you can be an integral part of the committee going forward, think about that before you make a decision to just say, hey, I did my time and I'm on probation. Okay, thank you, everyone. I don't see on here that I listed, yes, under old business. I'm sorry, I skipped this. Advisory committee and their officers. I actually drafted an email to every committee chairperson, or who I thought was in charge of that committee. And I inquired from them how they choose their chairperson. Do they have co-chairs? Do they have an appointed secretary? How do they do these things? So you may remember, or even before Dave left, there were times when I had a hard time getting someone to take over as chair or take over as secretary. And I just wanted to see what they do. So I'm going to share with you what I learned from the different committees. Every committee did not respond to me, but the majority of them did. As to the communications committee, Linda said one member volunteers to take the minutes at each meeting. So they rotate that. When she's not available, someone else would volunteer to even take over as chair. That was her response. Bylaws committee, Laura, she indicated that one member is noted as the note taker or secretary. They also make a point to record all their meetings with team, and we do that as well. That allows any note taker to go back, review the minutes, which I did when Sue was very ill and she had family issues going on, and I just sat down, looked at what was happening and took notes. So that's what they do. You have the ability to rewatch a meeting that you may or may not have attended, and then you can give probably better notes than just sitting in here. They have only one chairperson in addition to their secretaries. So one chair, one secretary. Patricia's with the E&A committee. She's the chair, but because she's not a full-time resident, she has a co-chair or vice chair. Their committee does not have a secretary, so she relies on an AI tool called OHER, I think it is, or maybe it's OR, like the football player, OHER, to record the meetings and to take the notes, and then AI drafts the notes and they're available for you. I was on a committee that was appointed by the courts. We did pro bono work and we started using that. Well, I found it didn't always match what I wrote down from the minutes. So there's an option that we could utilize as well. And I know our liaison mentioned that to us in the past. There is an AI option out there that you could also use. I don't know how people feel about that. I'm a senior. I don't like anything that's AI, computerized. Talk to the hand, not to a person. I don't go down those roads if I can avoid it. So we also use Teams. Apparently, they get a transcript from YouTube. So I'm wondering if this AI tool is on YouTube. I don't know. If you wanted to look into it, we could do that. That's another idea. The Strategic Planning Committee, Robert Kiesling's on that. They have no designated secretary. Minute-taking duties rotate on a monthly basis. So you have September, you have October. I don't know how you feel about that. I do not personally like that idea. I don't like inconsistency. I like tight notes. I like to know who I can call. And then that's that person's duty for our committee. So I feel strongly about that. Rec and Parks Committee, Becky said they have a designated secretary and co-chairs. Now, what we have is primarily a chair, but I know that I can rely on certain people when I need someone to cover for me. And
You
even
assign responsibilities, parliamentary rules and regs. You did that.
okay,
You assigned duties
right,
to each individual a few months back
right,
that we needed to be responsible for.
right.
And then the other person would be responsible. You did that,
I know I did.
and it works great.
Okay, so I'm just saying, here's what other people are doing. If we have a comfort with what we're doing, that's
I
fine.
think it's great.
I just wanted to share with you some ideas. And I honestly, and most of you know me personally, as well as in this committee, I get frustrated because I'm very
You get-
anal about the
you
way things are done.
Donna, you get frustrated?
I do. So
I know your husband will.
Doug Parks, who's the chair of the Budget and Finance Committee, their committee, the secretary duties rotate in their committee. And I don't know if that's monthly or quarterly or how they do that. They also use Teams for every meeting, which again, and I know I've done it. I know a lot of you just follow up anyway on Teams. And I think Sue has even looked back at Teams to fine tune her minutes. It's a great tool to use. Also, and what Doug said, it assists the secretary with minutes.
Can I just say,
Doug also suggested that we look at section 11B dash 111 subsection 4 of the Maryland HOA Act to, for recommendations. I didn't get a chance to look at it, but certainly when I have nothing to do this evening, I'll get on the internet and look that up. So let's put that, you have that, Sue, do you need me to repeat that?
Yeah, so it's
Section 11B dash 111,
subsection 4.
yes, of the Maryland HOA Act.
Can't wait.
I have one more and then I'll open it to some discussion. Gary Miller from Aquatics, they have a designated secretary. When that person is unavailable, another member volunteers. They do not have a co-chair, they just have a chair. And so what does the okay, what is, I want to make one other statement and then I see Ken has a comment. What does our committee do? We basically have always had a chairperson and we've had a designated secretary. And people have been willing to volunteer to take over in an emergency, and I appreciate that. Even if I had to strong arm people on occasion, we got it done. We have one chair, but I will admit that I lean a lot on John. And he is more than willing to be there, and he knows parliamentary procedure inside and out. I think I could put Doug and John in a debate on the parliamentary procedure. And I really thank everyone, but I think that's the way it's working and I'm comfortable with it. But I opened it up to see what everybody thinks about it. Ken?
well, my experience is, and I've run my companies the way you did this. You had assigned responsibilities with parliamentary rules and regulations for people that were experts, not experts, but had a depth of knowledge in those particular topics. Just like you commented about the parliamentary or power squad. I think the way you did it is the way I did my company. I had guys that were estimators, I had guys that were schedulers, and women too. I had guys that did takeoffs, I had guys that wrote computer code, I had guys that tested the computer code. And they were assigned that response. You did that the way my experience, I ran my businesses, which worked for my business. I think what you did is terrific.
Okay, so you're comfortable with the structure.
With the structure
We
you
have
put
good
in place
structure.
a few
Okay.
months back.
All right. Any other thoughts or comments? Anything? It's not a personal
We
attack.
were, no,
It's, you know, we need to, John, what is your thought? You're being very quiet.
I think everything runs fine.
Yeah.
I don't have,
It's
I mean, to me, the hardest job is what Sue does.
Yeah, I found
She
that
has a
out.
knack for doing this kind of stuff, so I
Well,
think.
you did it for
like,
43
yeah.
years.
I mean, if I had to do that, I'd probably leave. I mean, I couldn't sit there. I don't sit there and.
I was reporting at the Washington Post during Watergate. So
Okay.
I've been doing
It's
this.
perfect, assigning knowledge experts
Okay,
or quasi experts to different responsibilities. You gave those responsibilities to people.
all right.
So
So
they can speak to those areas.
I think Tim has something to say.
Tim, you have a comment?
Let's send a quick report.
No, I'm good.
Oh, you're good? Okay.
Oh.
No, I think it's
Michael
fine.
R. Go ahead,
I think
Tim.
it's fine the way you are.
Okay.
Great.
Michael R., you have any thoughts or comments?
I'm fine with the way it is. Ain't
Okay,
broke, don't fix it.
Right,
One
it's-
problem I had last month, and it's including people that are on the screen.
Yeah,
yeah, that's, yeah,
I
Yeah.
think
whenever
maybe
possible, be
somebody,
present.
or I'll do it. Just look up there all the time and see like,
Well,
if you're on the phone,
it's even worse.
Yeah,
I was there and
I know.
nobody didn't think I was there.
I think that's-
like a little stick figure.
Well,
there.
maybe it's-
He was there.
I also would recommend that when you're on the phone or you're remoting in some other manner, that you immediately say, this is Tim. I'd like to make a comment, because when we do that in the court, we always identify ourselves first. So
I did that. I said, this is Ken.
We didn't.
I dialed in.
I heard they turned you off. Now, I don't know if that's true. I'm
No.
kidding you.
But I heard everything was here. I did
Okay.
that. I said, this Ken, I just dialed in.
but the last meeting, I felt bad because I think Tim said, I've been waiting 20 minutes to say something, and I didn't even know, so I think
We used to
I'll
have
sit-
people,
I'll-
we used to have.
I'll sit here and
Video.
quit looking up there and remind you that somebody may want to say something.
All right,
So
so,
the-
I think
You're gonna look into that, you
Yeah.
said. That when we dial it, whatever that.
what happened to
It
you?
lets you know.
Yes, I will do that.
It'll let you know that the person did attend.
Yeah, I'll do that then. Okay, and then I listed here counterfeit life jackets, and apparently somebody picked up on that. Was that you?
Yes.
And, okay, so apparently, and I went in my one email, I gave you some background information. It actually was something on the news that I saw, that the US Coast Guard had released new rules for life jackets and and how they test them and what they need to be able to do, and be careful of counterfeit life jackets. They need to have certain,
Coast Guard approved.
Yeah.
correct, that needs to be on there. So my thought was, this might be a safety issue
Yeah.
that we would like to make our boating residents aware
We
of.
have a whole chapter on this subject in my text material.
Okay,
I'm bringing them here next
Okay.
month so you can see it.
okay.
And go through the agenda and see how much information we're
Okay.
publishing.
Like I said, the sense of this.
This is good. This is good. Yeah. We have people who have such expertise,
Subject.
And-
matter knowledge.
people who have a desire to reach outside of their little box and find out about
We
these
have to
things.
thank you for bringing out the best of us.
Thank you. Okay.
Because I found out, if you, I just searched life jacket rules and there's this really good blog. It's
Yeah.
it's done by
It's good
boaters.
in our
Voting.
material.
Association.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
Remember?
Oh, I
Maybe not.
didn't know about that.
Anything else to be brought to the attention of the committee today? Old business, new business, any thoughts, any comments anyone wants to make at this
Motion to
point?
adjourn.
Okay, one more thing. I have no public comments. I will get to you in a moment. I just want to go back what we're going to do. What our focus will be in September is, the focus will be Resolution C-12. And a lot of what we've discussed, I think, as to what we're going to do in October, we can bring in and talk about that as well. October, we will be focusing on boat safety.
List.
And your list.
Agreement
Yeah.
on everybody's list, not just my list.
Okay,
He has
Okay.
issues.
Yeah.
A list of topics.
if you want,
And you
To-
said
if you-
bullet point.
yes, I like that. If you get that ready in advance of the meeting,
Yes.
shoot it out to the whole committee so we can be looking at it and thinking about it. Everybody should be brainstorming about the topics, because if we come in here and start talking, oh, here's some topics, there's not going to be time for brainstorming. So anything you can get out to us in advance, I'd like you to do that. Okay, anything else? Questions, Sue?
Well, we were talking about just reinforcing whatever you were gonna do on the
Yes.
voting safety course. Should I just, ask Sandy what the timing is? Cause, you'll have to register, right? And,
No, she
No?
just communicates with the different newspapers with,
but I mean, you have to register in advance. Our next meeting will be until what,
You have to
the
register.
16th of September.
I thought it was only like a block.
She asked you if you have to register.
That's all.
Yeah.
Well, you said yes, you have to register to sign up.
this course is, we do the registration at 5:30 to 6:00 as people come in.
Oh, you can do it that day.
Oh, okay. so
They
you
can do
can
it that day.
Okay. I know you
However,
can't
since I've
register in
taken
advance.
over, I'm also trying to advise people if they could just shoot me an email to get their name and save a seat for them, we can do that.
You can
So
register
that
that.
I'm a little more prepared with materials rather than showing up and you've got 6 people versus
Mhm.
15, it's
Right, yeah.
But you
I
can
see.
register that day. That's good to know.
Okay.
Linda's doing a great job. She's always shooting out hints, like, here are the rules. You should be obeying these rules. But again, unfortunately, I don't think everybody that resides here.
Architectural rules.
And then this is going to go to your landlord, not to the people who are renting that house next door, so. Anyway, adjournment, Ken, move to adjourn. I need a second.
Second.
All right, a second.
To keep us here.
Ken and John and adjourn the
Like you do
meeting.
in Texas, you're not allowed to leave.
Yeah, so, my watch doesn't tell me exact time. What does it say?
11:08.
11:08. We will adjourn. I will see you next month. Everyone's got a little bit of homework. Enjoy the waters, be safe, be an example for our boaters, please. See you next month if I don't see you sooner, right?
Yep.
Okay, congratulations again to John. John L.
Thank